What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with episode 13 of Freezer to Fallout. But before we get into things today, member of the 232 just recently celebrated his birthday, and I'm not going to give out real names, of course. I'm just going to call him G for the sake of it. So, happy birthday, G. Hope it went well for you. Hope everything's going great. Congratulations on surviving another year on this planet without dying. Revolutions of the Sun are awesome. So last time, we ended up doing a bunch of minor stuff to help out, and we're kind of continuing that theme this week. We're going to go, and we're going to move all the way south to go to Somerville Place. It's a little bit of a trek, and it's in some dangerous territory, especially considering this is the glowing sea, or the edge of it at least. The edge of the map here is not the edge of the explorable region that we can go into. So we're starting off at Overland Station, and we're going to move south and see what we can find along the way. You know, have a little bit of fun, see what's up. So let's just start moving off. I know Piper's back talking to someone again, but Piper's want to do that. And I apologize if I sound a little stuffy and everything, guys. I caught a cold, and it's not been fun. Combine that with my friends and family deciding to abuse me at hockey. Yeah, I know, stereotypically Canadian. One thing about ghouls is they are a little predictable. And that would be a legendary ghoul. Not a bad way to start off with. And a freezing 10mm pistol. Not bad. Does freeze targets on a critical hit, so that's something we might want to consider using as our backup weapon. We do have Kellogg's pistol, but it's Kellogg's pistol, so let's face it, I don't want to be attached to it any more than I have to be. If I remember correctly, we actually went down here when we were trying to find Kellogg, moving back away from Overland Station, and we got ambushed by Supermutants and a lot of critters and a bear. Now that I think about it, this place is starting to creep me out. Why did I have to come this way? Wasn't smart. Oh well. So I've probably said it before, but I'm gonna mention it again just because, well, those are bad guys right there. If they engage me, I will fire back. I don't want to be attacking right off the bat. Seems they have more friends. But following the railroad tracks is actually a decent way to get around in this. Apparently even with VATS I can't hit the broadside of a barn. But yes, railroad tracks. That's where I was going with this thought. You'll find a lot of them as you wander throughout the Boston Wasteland, and they're generally a straight shot from point A to point B. They do have, obviously, dangers and everything on the road, but they're not a bad way to get from A to B. Generally clear. Very few places where you can get actually ambushed. Now, where did Scrap Rat and that other one die? I remember one of them was named. I think I killed them in the bushes? I'm gonna go crazy looking for these guys. Tends to happen that way. Mostly because I'm OCD and I can't just leave loot lying around for no reason. Just loot. It's gonna drive me nuts now. Might end up having to speed this up because I refuse to leave potentially good loot. Oh, there's a blood splatter there, so one would think that a body would be around this particular section. Oh well. Oh, there they are. One had a letter. Let's see what that letter is. I did drop off all of our random and miscellaneous stuff, so let's see. Just said letter. Look, I know you've doubted me since we killed that guy that came into our camp. This is how we do things. I don't have time to try and figure out if a newcomer is trustworthy or if he's just going to slit our throats the first night. I don't see it as a choice. I see a stranger. I kill them. It's for the good of the group. Scrap rat. Okay, so all of a sudden I feel less bad about just randomly shooting them. We'll go with that. These overpasses, the gunners like to set up on them a lot. We have... Oops. I hit the wrong button. I hate it when they have dogs. But hey, experience is experience.
Damn. Lost him.
You just keep holding still for another second. There we go. So the overpasses tend to be either filled with gunners, or filled with raiders, or filled with gunners and raiders fighting one another. It's probably a bad idea. It's gonna hurt. Maybe not. But sometimes you get lucky and find a nice little cache of items or other things. And of course, if you're looking for random meat, the animals that usually hang around with them are a good way to pick up at least some mongrel meat that helps you out. Cooked food, of course, is always better than uncooked food or the stuff that you find just sitting across the wasteland. Alright. And it looks like pretty much everything that was up here. I could be all nosy and investigative, but I don't want to do that twice right off the start of this episode, so let's just keep pushing south towards the settlement that we can help out. And of course, since we are going through the minimum side of things, we want to eventually get all of the settlements on our side. The more we have, the more artillery positions we can set up, and the more explosive fun we can have with arty grenades. Yeah, there's nothing like being in a bad situation and throwing down one flare to get a bunch of Minutemen reinforcements, and then an artillery grenade to finish off anything that the Minutemen can't handle. And next month, we're going to be doing another small little channel update. Pretty much got the formula down. Every time I start up a new Let's Play or anything like that, I'm going to review the game first, so that you guys can hear my thoughts and my opinions on the game that we're about to play through. And then we're going to do a Let's Play of it. I think it's a pretty good system. And I am considering starting up at least one more, if not two more, Let's Plays to go on. Take away what little free time and sanity I have left. One of them, however, may end up being a multiplayer Let's Play with a bunch of members from the 232 who have said that they might have the time and availability to sit down and game with me on a regular basis. Now, that is a sentry bot. An angry sentry bot. And I'm really hoping I don't die. So we just annoyed a sentry bot. Oh, he's overheated. That is the trick with these sentry bots. Eventually they will overheat during combat. But just note, they do explode when they die. But they're a good source of fusion core, a lot of military grade stuff. Couldn't think there for a minute. And usually they're guarding some nifty things. So let's see what this one in particular was guarding. Of course, sentry bots are remnants of the former US military. Nothing really good in the safe, but of course duct tape is never bad to take. It's another military grade circuit board. Love it when we find military grade stuff. Used oil cans and a Abraxo cleaner. Don't really need the Abraxo, we have tons of that back at base, and we still haven't gotten around to building up the settlements in particular. Just Crap, I lost my thought, and apparently I'm stuck. Oh, I apparently swapped over to my shotgun without realizing it. I do that from time to time. So yes, all the military grade stuff is awesome, and we haven't actually got around to doing the settlement building video. I've been promising it forever. I'm a jerk. I haven't done it because my brain not work with me. And that was an albino radstag. Great. Of course, radstag meat, especially on survival, is one of the things that you want to get. We got some super mutants up here.
What was that?
Really got to get some better sights on this. I think Piper was trying to talk to us.
Hey,
But at the moment, we got super mutants to deal with. So, Piper, you're just going to have to wait a minute. If I'd stop rushing my shots, that'd be great too. I think that's all of them. But because we killed that suicider before he managed to detonate and we didn't actually hit his arm, gave us another mini nuke.
Hey,
what can I do?
Didn't want to... Keep forgetting my keys. Too many other games.
hey, Piper.
You look like you could use a pick-me-up.
Your thoughts?
Nice being on the move again. Fewer paper cuts than back home.
I was just wondering where you and I stand.
Things are pretty good from where I'm standing. So long as we're helping people out here, I'm all in.
Cool.
Oh, nothing.
Alright, so I guess she wasn't trying to talk to us. I was just, like, twitchy with my mouse. Again, not unusual. Let's see if these super mutants had anything worthwhile. Tend to find little... enclaves? Not the right word. But you find little groups of super mutants running all over the place. Alright, so I've done 2. Let's see if we can remove a few of the duds. I usually don't keep the hacking minigame inside the video. We'll see if I do this time or not. I don't know. So Tries had 3 in common. But Dryhead only had 1.
Nice.
Oh, it's just a spotlight control. Great. Wasted all your guys' time for nothing. Alright, so where was I going with that? Yes, super mutant enclaves. Like sentry posts, fortifications, that sort of stuff. You'll find them all over the wasteland. They tend to be a pain in the butt, showing up exactly when you don't want them to. And while I'm thinking about it, we're going to go to our aid, and I have a bunch of Nuka-Cola. So we're going to have a drink of that, and we're going to hit ourselves with a Radaway and a couple purified waters. Alright, so I forget what I was saying, and where my brain works. The further south you go, the more random stuff you have to deal with, and you get a lot of skull level enemies that start showing up. Super mutants tend to show up around these parts, little enclaves of them. Yeah, I died once, guys. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in or not. Probably not, because I don't like showing off when I screw up more than usual. But you have to really be careful around these Southlands. There's a bunch of stuff that will end up trying to or successfully kill you. Take, for instance, this little structure right here. This is Gunner's Plaza. There's a guy up on the roof that A, has a missile launcher, and B, has a Fat Man. And that's a Brotherhood of Steel vertibird just getting its teeth kicked in. And there's the guy with the missile launcher. Given that these are all skull-level enemies and that sort of stuff, and that vertibird is coming right towards... Okay, we're gonna go this way. Quickly, go this way. But the Southlands are very dangerous. You get a couple of quests that send you this way pretty early. I would suggest, like what we've done in this Let's Play, you wait a little bit before you head out to these little Southlands. They can be rather dangerous.
Hey, something's out there. Still in one piece.
Aside from the skull-level enemies, there are a lot of bad things down here. You'll find a lot of Yagwai in these swamped-out ruins. You will find sentry bots just randomly across the map. There's even Mirelurk queens and bugs and all sorts of nasty things that will show up. Now, we're going to be very careful trying to go across these marshlands. If we happen to run into a Mirelurk or anything else down here, we're not exactly leveled up to deal with it right now. And if we see swamped out ruins, we are going to avoid them like the plague. I'd rather take a little bit of rad damage than deal with a lot of the stuff down here. Hopefully this quest, even though it was fairly early on that we got it, doesn't send us anywhere particularly dangerous. Usually there is a sentry bot somewhere around here. I think he's usually down this way? There's a settler over there.
Oh, please. Do you have any rat away? I think I may be dying.
Sure, here.
Sure. Here you go.
The Waggle would need right away.
You just saved my life. I'm just gonna stay here a bit to regain my strength.
Well, helping out those settlers will eventually let you send them to individual outposts that you create. Not a bad idea to do it. So we finally made it down to Somerville?
Did the Minutemen send you?
Of course, what's going on?
Yes, I'm here to help. What's going on? There's a group of raiders that won't leave us alone. Stealing our food and supplies, threatening us if we can't give them what they want. We know where they're coming from, but we can't stand up to them ourselves.
Don't worry, we'll take care of them for you.
Don't worry. I'll take care of those raiders for you. I hope so. We didn't know what to do.
Alright, so where is this quest going to send us now? Kill the raiders in Hyde Park. We gotta go back across the marshlands. I don't necessarily like where this is sending us, but we agreed to come down and help them, so that's what we're gonna do. And this is what I mean about skull-level enemies just showing up out of nowhere.
What was that?
He looks like he's got a couple of pieces of combat armor on, in fact. It's part of why I want to take him down. If we can get some combat armor for Piper,
Think we're safe now?
or another piece or two for ourselves.
Blue, we're not alone here. What do you think that was?
dealing with all sorts of fun things today. Alright, so you should have some combat armor on you. Chest, right arm. Doesn't hurt us too bad. Was it the right arm or the left arm that we were missing? I know we were missing one of the two. We had the left arm, we were missing the right arm. So now we're in combat armor all around. But we'll hang on to that combat armor for now. The chest piece is good, but Piper's wearing that legendary chest piece, so don't really want to scrap it just yet. Let's see what he was doing. It looks like some old pre-war statue that they were vandalizing? Maybe. I don't know. It looks like a med kit. It is. A chem box, anyway. Alright, so we have to go to Hyde Park. And that's a stingwing. Lots of random stuff showing up this time. Alright, where are you? Alright, so that's a couple more stingwings down. Take note, if you guys are playing on survival, this is a good place to come to get stingwing meat in. And stingwing meat turns into some really, really good food on survival mode. And of course you want to grab as much Nuka-Cola as physically possible while you're out in the wastes. Makes it so you don't necessarily have to sleep, though you should be sleeping, or at least taking a nap here and there to save your progress. But it prevents you from having to straight up fall asleep for a long time when you're just sitting around. I had another thought on the tip of my tongue, and I lost it. So we want to try and get across this place with as little pain as possible. I think the only way to do that is to down some Rad-X. And just book it across the water. And that's Gunner's Plaza right there, and we do want to avoid Gunner's Plaza. And there's a rad stag up on the hill here. We hit it, but we did not kill it. I'd love to get this up to a 50 caliber rifle because we're on normal mode.
What was that?
That was a super mutant. Where does Buddy go? Boy.
Blue, we're not looking.
Apparently I cannot track a moving target today. Thankfully, these guys aren't using too good of weapons. That means that the explosion we saw was probably the Suicider coming along with this group. But this is Gunner's Plaza, so what we're going to do is we're going to go this way, even though it is south, and south is dangerous in Boston. We're going to avoid it entirely. That said, we're going to try and be a little bit cautious. do not want to get ambushed by anything too major down here. I would go over and investigate. There's a lot of good stuff in there, but as we can see, there are a couple of Yaogwai down there. And because we're this far south on the map, they are not the stunted Yaogwai that we're normally used to. They're the big, full-grown adults. Not only are they dangerous, but they charge, and we do not have either the armor, the hit points, nor the weaponry to really deal with them offhand. So we're just gonna, you know, brave Sir Robin this and bravely run away. That's a behemoth. But this is Cricket.
Everyone wants a piece of what I got.
Hey there.
So many guns and so little time. You just gotta buy them.
So she sells probably one of the most,
Just think how
quote, overrated, end quote, / awesome guns in the game. She sells the Spray and Pray. You can find her traveling through the wastes or at Bunker Hill later on. She stops there, she stops at a bunch of different places along the map. An explosive submachine gun. It is incredibly powerful, especially for dealing with ghouls and anything else that takes limb damage really easily. A lot of insects. Mirelurks especially. It does get a little bit more praise than perhaps it's worth, but it's not a bad gun overall. Personally, I like semi-automatic myself, but the Spray and Pray is good for what it does. Cricket does have a bunch of 45 ammo though. You know what? We're just going to go all out, and we're going to buy every little bit of ammo she has. And we're going to grab that set of combat armor arms for Dear Piper.
You say the word. Sure, take a peek.
I believe they were both arms. I'm hoping I didn't grab two of the same. There's a left arm. And we're going to toss that chest piece on her just because I don't want to carry it myself. And right arm. So let's go to your apparel. Throw that on. And throw that on.
Stick to the roads, and you got a better chance of surviving.
Okay, so Behemoth is something we definitely don't want to fight right now. I did warn you guys, the Southland is not a place you necessarily want to be, and looks like the Brotherhood is taking names over here? Don't know for sure, but we're going to try and get around. See what the Brotherhood is fighting. We're not necessarily enemies to the Brotherhood just yet. But we aren't going to be friends with them in the end. So if we can use and abuse their soldiers while we're able to, why not? Dropping in some power armor. Ooh, that was a grenade. And Piper apparently picked up that Supermutants minigun. So that doesn't hurt at all. So this is Hyde Park over here. Apparently we're getting unofficial help from the Brotherhood. Don't die. Do not die. Do not die. I think we are out of stim packs. Which could be bad. Piper, you are definitely having some fun with that minigun, which I'm okay with. Anytime a lady picks up a fully automatic radial weapon like that, you just say yes, ma'am. We're gonna grab that laser rifle, though. At the very least, it breaks down into some really spectacular parts. You never know. If we go back outside, there might be a Brotherhood member or two who's died. I hate to be so ghoulish, but if they've lost a scribe or a couple of soldiers, we might be able to pick up some Brotherhood of Steel power armor. And their uniforms. Yeah, it's going to overweigh us a little bit, but lots of stim packs, lots of fusion cells. We're going to be dumping a lot of this off on Piper. I'm sorry, dear Piper, but you just went from party member to pack
Probably have
mule.
something you can use.
Well, at least as much of the armor as we can pawn off on you, because it's all pretty heavy. But since you're having fun with that minigun, you keep having fun with a minigun. We have lots of 5mm ammo, and I don't like using heavy weapons myself. We are still overloaded. Not by a whole lot more, though. Let's see what else we can give you, Piper. Give you a 10mm auto pistol, a couple of automatic laser pistols, and we'll give you that freezing 10mm too, and that's all you can carry. But we should be good to run now. Indeed we are. So, we got some power armor out of the deal. Some really good power armor. So if we ever decide to use it, maybe when we make our trek into the glowing sea, we will take along a suit of power armor, and that will make life a little bit easier. So all of the water here is irradiated, but there's a neat little trick to go in. But because we've been in a situation where I feel like we are pushing our limits a little bit, I'm going to quick save. And let's go in and drink some Nuka-Cola, maybe a Nuka-Cola Cherry and a Nuka-Cola Quantum. Fully refill our hit points. So this is Hyde Park. It's got a bunch of raiders and other nasty people in it. But we have multi-barrel Piper with us now. So my money's on us? My money's always on us. Because the 232 rocks. Rocks? I don't know. What I'm saying is, you guys are all awesome, and I am terrible. Apparently we've been spotted by someone and they don't like us. I hate Molotov cocktails. Really would like to know who was throwing them. And apparently killing Scudder there cleared Hyde Park. But being the absolute awesome people that we are, we're going to make sure we actually clear Hyde Park.
What was that?
So there's a lot of people still shooting at us. Can't pick up too much garbage through this adventure. We have already completely overloaded our teammate. However, she is currently rocking a minigun. So push comes to shove. Ooh, a Grognak the Barbarian comic. I'm okay with finding Grognak. Granted, I don't use melee a whole lot in any of my builds. I've never done a full, like, Idiot Savant power armor build. Maybe that's what I'll do for some fun later on.
Nice.
Let's make my guy as simple-minded as I can. Oops, that is the wrong button. Make my guy pretty simple. And then toss him into power armor. I want to rip the drum mag off of that, so we can't throw that away. Peril. We're not wearing that leg? Well, we don't need 2 extra dog colors. We only have 1 dog. Well, using that, so we'll toss that away. We just got rid of that, so we can actually drop it. That should free us up. Alright, so where are the rest of these guys?
Hey, something there you are.
And like using a 50 caliber round on someone who doesn't really need a 50 caliber round to put them down. Still saying this guy is below us. And now they should be put 6 feet below us. So we're just gonna quickly finish up scouting around in here. You know, Hyde Park is actually one of the better places to come
Someone's not interested.
if you're wanting to get some experience. It's just a matter of getting here. That's the problem. As you saw, we went past a few fairly high-level baddies to get here. Of course, I knew they were there for the most part, so it was easy enough to avoid them. But if you're going through this for the first time, you might not be aware that they're there, and it ends up being really, really bad. So before we fast travel back, I do want to pick up the Jamaica Plains fast travel point. There's a reason for that, and we will be coming back down this way later. Would you look at that, a power armor station. If we had a frame for all of that nice, juicy Brotherhood of Steel power armor we picked up. Of course, the only time we're going to use power armor is for going into the Glowing Sea. I believe that's the ruins of Quincy. Could be mistaken. You know what? Probably a safer bet just to go back now. So let's talk to our future settler.
Did you have any luck with those raiders?
I took care of those raiders for you.
Really? Well, that's the best news I've heard in a long time. By the way, we talked about it, and we decided to support the Minutemen. I think it's worth giving another chance. The only way things will get better is if we stand together.
And you're definitely right about that. Now, what's going on down here? There wasn't a big fire the last time we came through. Unless it was always here and I just missed it. Again, entirely possible. So we need to go talk to Preston Garvey, and currently I think he's in Sanctuary? Eventually we're going to have him running things out of the castle. Because he's not going to be in our party for very much more. So let's find our good man Preston. And eventually you're going to be outfitted in a full suit of Brotherhood T60. I think it's T60. Either way, it's pretty good power armor. Mr. Garvey. Stand up so we can talk to you.
Stay sharp. Don't let your guard down.
I took care of the raiders that were harassing that settlement you sent me to. The people there have decided to join our cause.
That's great news. One day, we'll be strong enough to drive that scum out of the Commonwealth for good. As usual, I've got something else for you to look into. Our scouts have found a promising spot for a new settlement. Once you clear it out, set up a radio link to let settlers know. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead of wasteland. We'll take back the Commonwealth, one piece at a time.
Outpost Zamonja. One of the harder outposts to actually acquire and deal with. But we did level up, so let's take care of that right now. It's been so long that I cannot even remember what we did on the last level up. I think we got local leader rank 2. And if we start getting cap collector, we can start throwing down stores and stuff. We could get locksmith for expert locks. But I think over the next few days, at least in my off time from recording this particular series, I might sit down and actually get through to making our settlements, livable and supporting us and building us viable stuff. So we're going to grab cap collector, because I know it requires rank 1 or 2 to build certain things. While we're looking at that, let's hop into the menu, see what it costs for shops. So yes, you need rank 2 of cap collector for the tier 4 shops.
Life still ain't perfect, but we're surviving.
But we can grab that on our next level. Doesn't hurt to have it now. But you know what, guys? Since I'm having a little bit of an issue breathing right now, it's probably a good place to call it for the day. Not that I don't like talking at you guys, because I love hearing myself talk. It's just I'm slightly dying. So if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232 and be part of our community, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes up. Again, to G-Man out there, happy birthday, buddy. Congratulations. You survived another year. And until next time, guys, remember life is a game, so play to win, and take care.